It's Nik and Adinah.
Yes. How you doing, it, man?
Hey, I'm great.
All right.
So we're coming to you today
Mhm.
with another video, and the video is
Um, kind of personal space and privacy is what I've been thinking about.
like
And so this is kind of my thoughts. And in a relationship, it is extremely important for you to be vulnerable and transparent. I mean, we've discussed that, several times in several videos within this channel. As far as you have to be open to receive love. You have to be transparent about the things that hurt you, and things of that nature. However, it's very interesting. I have heard individuals say that there are certain things that they're not comfortable with their significant other having access to,
right.
or certain things. Like, for instance, probably the biggest thing I've heard individuals talk about is, like, say, passwords to phones, passwords to voicemail, stuff like that. So my question to our listeners is that, is there anything that should be off limits in your relationship when it comes to that? Like, for instance, hey, you know what? You can't have the lock code to my phone, or I can't put, your fingerprint in my phone, or whatever. You can't. I don't want you going through my phone. Man, that should be a situation. Personally, for me, I don't think it should be the case, but maybe I'm missing something. You got any thoughts on that, honey?
I mean, you've given me your phone to take for a whole half a day. I have my phone and your phone. I mean, we're open as far as the phone. I think there are certain privacies a person can have. I know there are some privacies, like, okay, when I'm in the bathroom, do not,
oh yeah, don't look at me.
Because, coming from, now that our children are older, I feel like as a young mom, or a new mom, not a young mom, because I never was really a young mom. But being a new mom, kids just come in the bathroom with you. And so now that I don't need anybody to be in there with me, I don't want anybody in there with me. Mm-hmm. So that's, privacy, I believe. I think it's important to give individuals certain privacies, but at the same time, I think it has to be agreed upon. Cell phones and things like that, social media accounts, I don't think that, should be an issue as far as, oh, don't look at my phone, or what are you hiding? Mm-hmm. And that's just something I wouldn't accept.
Yeah. As far as, like, perfectly valid point as far as you come to the bathroom. For instance, if I'm standing, I don't care. But if I'm sitting down, I need that privacy. But as far as, like, for instance, going in my phone and doing stuff like that.
Or going in your wallet.
Oh yeah, you're always in my wallet, so I really don't. But I think that
there's 60.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, even with doing that, it almost breeds distrust.
Yeah, it does.
Even if you're not doing anything. It's like, okay, well, people are like, hey, you know what? I don't want you in there. Like, but
why don't you want that person in there is the question.
Yeah, it breeds distrust. So my thing is that a couple of things can happen in a situation.
Or here's one more. Let me just add this before you add a couple of things. Or listening to someone's phone calls.
I guess as far as how you, if you're sitting by me and I'm listening to your phone call?
Or I overhear you saying something like I did yesterday, and I was like, no, you said this.
I guess to me that's kind of, because if I really want privacy in that situation, all right, for instance, okay, when we talk about privacy, I'll step in another room.
Right.
But at that particular point, do I say, hey, I need to take this call and step outside?
But that breeds distrust too, though.
It depends on who it is, though. Like, for instance, if I'm on the phone, say if it's a work call, my dad's, it's loud, I'll step outside, come talk to my mom and my dad.
Right.
But you really got to be transparent.
Yeah, you got to communicate that. Say, hey, I'm talking to my mom, or I'm talking to my dad. I'm going to step out. Or, people have told me personal things about themselves, and I don't share that with you because that is their privacy. They've trusted me with certain things. And so, you've said, well, is there something you can share? And I'm like, no. Yeah. Or I'll say, yeah, the kids are running amok, or whatever the case may be, if it's something that they haven't said, hey, I just want this private between us. But I think we pretty much know. So there is a certain privacy that is required. But at the same time, it is important that you establish that and you understand and you communicate effectively, so it is not any ill feelings, or it isn't any situation where it's like, breeds distress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's levels to privacy. As far as, say, for instance, if you have a health situation going on, and you might be like, I just really don't feel like talking about it right now. I think you have a right to that privacy.
You mean with your spouse?
Yeah, with your spouse. Yeah. I don't really feel like discussing that right now, but ultimately you have to be mindful of it. Is it your body? Yes. Is it your health? Yes. But it will impact the relationship. So at some point, you have to be okay with sharing. Okay, this is what I'm going through, because ultimately, that person needs to understand, where you are as far as battling something.
Or if you don't even know if it is a health issue, say for instance, you just have to communicate. Say, hey, I've been grumpy lately, or I've been wanting to sleep lately, or I have been under the weather, or whatever the case may be. Be transparent and talk to your spouse about it, so they can support you and not take offense to it, possibly.
Yeah. So I think also where one person may be upset in a relationship around privacy is maybe they don't have a clear understanding of where they stand in the relationship. This is what I mean. Okay. You might think that we are something that we're not, which means, okay, if we feel as though we're in a relationship,
right,
and I don't feel that way, and you're like, hey, why can't I, do this, do that, go on your phone, look at your phone. I'm like, well, we're not really in a relationship, or our relationship isn't like that for you to have that kind of access.
Well, and that's where people need to be understanding. That's where individuals need to set boundaries. So that's a different issue, because you're not going to enter my body and I can't enter your phone.
Oh, that's true. I understand that. That makes perfect sense.
But that's me.
Yeah, no.
And like you say, it is certain people who are questioning, are we in a relationship? What is this? What are we doing? No.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But that goes to another video I have to do. So.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we'll just leave that teaser there. All right. But yeah, as far as, okay, so what's actionable here? If you do have a situation where, say, for instance, it might be a problem with, cell phone, social media, whatever. Do understand that if you are doing nothing,
what's the problem with someone?
What's the problem? And even if you're not, it's giving the appearance of you doing something wrong. If you don't want to do it, at least have a conversation with whoever you were saying, you know what, I kind of like to have my digital life to be my own. You can say that or whatever, but just keeping in mind that just gives off certain appearances. And if your goal is to get closer together, you kind of need to lose most of that individuality, for you to be able to actually come closer together. So
my response was, if you want the digital life to be your own, your whole life can be your own. Goodbye.
And there you have it. So just know that, ultimately, what are you winning or what are you gaining by doing that? All I typically ask, like if Adinah has my phone or anything, and if she like that she messages like somebody or something from my phone, just say, hey, this is Adinah.
Yeah.
Right from Nick's phone. Because a lot of times, a lot of people know who it is. Like, hey, why is Nick calling me asking me this or texting me asking me this? Well, they can't see it's not me. I just say, hey, if you lose your phone, you can't find your phone. There's been times you message somebody saying, hey, this is Adinah.
Yeah.
So.
Or when I answer your phone, people already know who it is.
Yeah, like. Hey,
and I'm like, I'm the girlfriend.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it. So when it comes to privacy, just know that transparency is important. It's hard to have that transparency and vulnerability when there's still certain things in your life that are off limits. So being mindful of that. So any other thoughts, honey?
That's it.
Okay, great. All right, so thank you all for watching our video. We would ask that you would like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to put your comments down in the comment section. Does your spouse, have access to all your social media or phones, whatever like that? Is that a line that you're not willing to cross? So let's have a dialogue down in the
and why? Section. Why not?
Yeah, just don't say no. Look, why?
Why?
And if it's no because I don't have access to theirs, well, maybe that's a different conversation. So
yeah, I mean, and we can if individuals don't agree with that, that's why we're here. Let's dialogue about it. We could be wrong about that, whereas a person will have a valid reason to say, hey, I want my social media to myself. Then let's talk about it.
That's true. Don't worry. Well, as always, this is Nik and Adinah Johnson. Thank you so much for watching, as I said before. And as always, we ask that you would take care of yourself and keep loving one another.